are going to continue talking about the crypto markets, and we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Axie Infinity, Zilliqa, Ethereum, Binance, Uniswap, and my neighbor Alice, because these coins have been doing very well. And I just wanted to give you a very quick morning update, because you guys deserve to be updated. So I hope everybody is having a good time trading BTC, and I really hope that you guys have been really maximizing your profits and just basically growing. So yeah, what has been happening in the world of BTC, and what do we expect to happen in the next few hours, or the next 24 hours? So I'm going to be giving you my overview and what has been happening. So boom, from this particular market structure that we are beginning to see, right, it is obviously clear to see that we are definitely going to have a little bit of a retracement, because we did have a swing failure pattern on the 1 hour. So using the 1 hour time frame, right, you have to remember that this correction is it's not going to be that intense. In case you guys are looking for a very dramatic drop, it's not really going to happen. The pullbacks are going to be very minimal. They're going to be not so long and as deep as they were, because we are beginning to sort of create this bullish narrative. So yes, Bitcoin is back to being bullish. Of course, we're going to have some minor corrections, but remember, the mantra at this particular moment is buy the dip and long it. So you just have to find the end of the correction, and you guys are going to be very good to go. I'm sure you guys have observed how altcoins have been performing. A lot of altcoins have been doing very well. This is because the Bitcoin dominance is going down. When you experience the Bitcoin dominance going down, there's obviously going to be a pump in the outs, and there's going to be some sort of synergy between BTC and all that good stuff. So yeah, big shout out to Dixon Katembo. Good morning. Dixon says there's a bearish flag forming on Bitcoin. So I don't really see the bearish flag. Which bearish flag are you talking about? For me, I see the bullish flag if we are talking about this particular recent trend. So we had a pump towards the upside, right? So if we take a look at that, to me that is a bullish flag. So I don't really know which time frame you are considering. So if you're looking at the immediate smaller time frame, maybe you're looking at the 10-minute time frame. Of course, if you're looking at the 10-minute time frame, then you could consider this to be a bearish flag happening, or rather forming. But looking at the 10 minutes time frame is really going to get you lost in the sauce, and you don't want to look at the very small time frame. That small time frame, it's just going to land you in trouble. It's better at least you stick to the immediate sort of trend, and in this particular case, the immediate trend on the 4-hourly is an uptrend. This is the recent action that we had, and to me, I would rather look for longs. And moreover, we spoke about this. We talked about the fact that Bitcoin has to maintain 31,500. Whatever Bitcoin does in the next coming few days, we need to stay above 31,500. Remember, 31,500 is the support line that we have been looking for, or rather looking at, as far as this particular trading range is concerned. So as long as Bitcoin is within this particular stipulated range, we have a potential, or rather a high probability, of us going to have a retest of the $40,000 to about $41,000 level. So to me, we definitely have to maintain this particular level. This is where we have the green line, the 31,500. So as long as Bitcoin is above 31,500, then we are good to go. We are good to pump towards the upside. So I remember, Dixon, you were talking about the price of Bitcoin dropping to 24,000, and I still stick to my narrative I really believe that the price of Bitcoin has got a higher probability of going to 41,000 before it drops to 24,000. And remember, Dixon, we did talk about the fact that we had like a lot of price control at 29,000, and I told you that if the price would close below 31,500, then our next area of likely support is between 27,000 to about 29,000, and we maintained the $29,200 level. So I really hope that you guys remember my narrative before this particular drop, and I also hope that you guys remember that I was using a stop loss and I wasn't affected in any way whatsoever. But the bulls did kind of step in and they defended this particular level. And just like I talked about, I explained it in yesterday's episode. A lot of people might relate this particular price pump to Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey, but it's all about the technical analysis. We are still good to go. So please refrain from having a bearish or a bullish narrative. Always have particular set levels that you look forward to. So whenever you see the price of Bitcoin closing below 31,500, you might want to reconsider. So at this particular moment, we are doing very well. We are still back in the game, and we've got a probability of us pumping towards 41,000. However, we have a lot of resistance levels. This particular level, remember we talked about 33,200 because it is an area of value where we used it as previous support, and then all of a sudden we kind of broke below it. Okay, during this particular structure, this downward structure for the past 1 week, right, we broke below 33,200. So that is also going to be very crucial. So we need to eventually break 33,200 by next week Wednesday. If next week Wednesday we don't trade about 33,200, that could be worrisome, and we need to reevaluate what is most likely to happen, because we're going to have some sort of conflicting signals. VPN says, is it a good buy? Is it still good to buy SLP then sell? Ride the short-term bull market. So basically SLP is it the sweet love portion? It's the utility token for the Axie Infinity. So SLP, smooth love portion, this one right over here. So with regards to smooth love portion, right, it's obviously performing and pumping together with Axie Infinity. So your question is it still good to buy SLP then sell? At this particular moment, I would encourage you to sort of give it some time, because we have a probability of slightly correcting. So Axie Infinity keeps on pumping for some reason, and in yesterday's episode, oh, by the way, before I go to Axie Infinity, let me finish talking about BTC, because you guys are now beginning to confuse me. So hold on, I'll talk about Axie Infinity as SLP and all the other things, like a little bit later. Okay, so let me first of all finish with BTC because it's very important. So what was I saying with regards to BTC? So boom, here we recently got the swing failure pattern. This is a very blatant swing failure pattern, so I really expect the price to slightly correct and drop a little bit. So we were having this particular area as resistance on the 4 hourly, right? This particular area is very important, and we eventually broke above it, and then right over here we started using it as support, and we continued our upward trajectory. But you guys have to remember that today is a Friday, and technically speaking, a lot of institutional money and a lot of big whales who are going to be trading are most likely going to be taking like a little bit of a breather during the weekend. So we might experience the price kind of drop. And in yesterday's episode, right, I did give you my buy zone as far as Bitcoin is concerned. So just using the basic Fibonacci levels, right, I expect the price of BTC to sort of kind of have a retest on the 38.2% Fib level, which is around 31,000 500. This would be like a very good area of re-entry, you know, provided we are still going to be on our path to 41,000 US dollars. So eventually, now that we have had the swing failure pattern on the 1 hour, you guys can clearly see the swing failure pattern. I really expect the prices to kind of you know, cool off, and this is also going to affect altcoins as well. So I'm expecting the price to sort of retrace and come to 31,400, and then we're going to sort of push back up, because we are definitely going to have a daily close above 31,500. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And right now, as you guys can see, right, the price is kind of dropping. So, well, Dixon could be you know, slightly correct with regards to the smaller time frame bearish trend, right, the bearish flag which is happening right over here. But if you use that analogy, then you know the target is also going to be sort of very minimal, because we could use such a system and, you know, kind of target it like that. But the 10 minutes is a very small time frame to really get preoccupied by it. But you know, because I usually trade the 3-day as my highest time frame, the 1 day, and the 4 hour. So my entries and exits are based on the 4 hourly, you know. So if you are using the 10 minutes as your executional time frame, then you know your trades must be crazy. So for me, I use the 4 hour to give me buying signals. So what I expect the price to do is, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, on the 4 hourly, we're obviously going to drop, and then when we come to this particular area, this is the area of value that I'm looking forward to. This is my dollar cost average entry. So worst case scenario is the price dropping to 30,655. okay, so this is going to be like the most extreme price correction where the price of BTC could end up going to. This is like my you know, ultimate buy zone. If the price could come to 30,600, that would be absolutely amazing, but that is highly unlikely. I just expect the price of Bitcoin to slightly drop to 31,500. So we'll see what's going to happen, and you know, we'll pick it up from there whenever it's going to happen, you know. So what are you guys talking about? So Daniel says, do you think we are in a start of a bearish market? So Daniel, we haven't started the bearish market. We just defended right over here. We had like a very good defense, and you know, this kind of changed the game. So this is one of the reasons why I can't really call this a bearish market. It's just a corrective structure. We've been correcting on the, you know, smaller time frame, the 3-day. This is absolutely normal, and this is necessary for us to like experience such a situation. So I wouldn't call this a bearish market. So you guys are becoming bearish too early. To me, this particular pump right over here was a bullish sort of maneuver. But a lot of you might be saying, hey Mona, check this out, we experienced the same situation. We kind of pumped, you know, and we still ended up dropping down. So maybe you guys are assuming that whenever this you know, bounce back is going to be done, then we're going to continue, and then we're going to drop to 24,000 US dollars. Well, that could happen if we break certain structures. So if you take a look at the daily time frame, right, how many times did we close below 30,000 US dollars on a daily time frame? We, technically speaking, the only time we closed below it was on the 20th of July on this particular candle. And if we use the Heikin-Ashi candles, right, let's try to use the Heikin-Ashi. Using the Heikin-Ashi candles, we still technically didn't close below 30,000 US dollars, if you look at it from that perspective. So at this particular moment, using Heikin-Ashi candles, we haven't had a close below 30,000 US dollars, and a retracement from about 61,000, 63,000 US dollars to about 30,000. That's like a 50% correction, which is very, very normal. So usually let's do this. Okay, if we look at this general structure, this is where I really believe the pump kind of started. We started from around 9,900, and then we ended up pumping. So, well, let's pick it up from here. Let's say 9,100, right? And then we use the Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay, at this particular moment, we are on the 61.8% fib level. Okay, and this is a regular corrective structure. I'm sure you guys have been trading using Fibonacci levels, right? So this particular price correction, this whole structure is a very needed, or it's a very common type of corrective structure. So dropping all the way down to the 61.8% fib level, which is corresponding to about 29,458, this is a very good buy level, and this is the level where the big guys come in. So if you look at the bigger picture, right, we are still in a very healthy corrective structure. We are still in a very healthy type of market situation. So there is absolutely nothing bearish about this particular pullback, this particular structure. Okay, so technically speaking, we are still good to go, and we are just having a healthy pullback. Of course, you guys already know that I expect the price to kind of push towards for 40,000, 50,000, and then depending on what's going to happen here, if we end up getting rejected, we are going to go to about 20,000 to 24,000. So the only moment where we could for sure say that we are in a bearish market is if we start closing below our previous all-time high. So if we look at the history of BTC, right, looking at Bitcoin's history, our previous wait, hold on, let me get another graph that has a lot of data. So hold on. Yep, looking at our previous history, right, the previous all-time high was around 20,000 US dollars. This was the previous all-time high. We can only go into a full-fledged bear market if we start closing below the previous all-time high. So if you guys are thinking about a bearish market, we are still far away from technically considering ourselves to be in a bearish market. So we need another 63 to about 58% price drop in order for us to start considering it to be a bearish market. We can only be in a bearish market if we start closing on a daily basis below this particular all-time high, because we're supposed to use this as our sort of resistance turned into support. So the best buy level would be using this particular previous resistance as support. So if I were you, I would be looking forward to the price coming back to this particular level and retesting the previous all-time high, because the price usually has a retest of the previous all-time high. So if it ends up bouncing, it's not a bear market. Of course, it's very heartbreaking to see the price drop from about 63,000 US dollars, and then we just sort of we've been correcting and we've been dropping all this while. But the people who are complaining are the people who kind of bought at a very high price. So if you guys have been in during these low levels, you shouldn't be even complaining. You should be excited about the price going to 20,000, because honestly, I want to see cheaper prices. I want to get in at decent positions, if you know what I mean. So yeah, getting to answer your question, no, we are not in a bearish market. We are only going to be technically in a bearish market if the price of Bitcoin starts closing below 20,000 US dollars, which is corresponding to the previous resistance, the previous all-time high. And if we start using it as resistance, then that is going to be technically a bearish market. So my nose is itching. This usually happens when I start streaming, so I don't really know what that really means. If your nose starts itching, yeah, What else did I want to talk about? Okay, so now let's talk about the good stuff. So with regards to BTC, you guys already know my stance. You guys already know that I expect like a slight pullback, and I'm expecting the price to drop to close to 31,600, like in the next 24 to about 48 hours. In case that doesn't really get to happen, I'll be very happy to sort of see the price maintain 32,100 all the way up to around 31,700, because we had this corrective, we had this structure right over here. But I'm really sure in the next 48 to about 72 hours the price is going to come back down to about 31,600, 31,500. But we need to close above it, because we need to maintain this particular structure, and we need to hold on to that particular structure. Do you guys, okay, so Dixon says talk about Ethereum and altcoin decoupling from Bitcoin. So is Ethereum and altcoin, or Ethereum and altcoin is going to decouple from BTC? Well, that is going to that could happen based on the altcoin cycle. Altcoin cycle, I think I have it. There's a tweet that really, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So I don't know whether you guys can see this, right? So these are the different phases to the out season. Okay, so first of all, there's phase 1, which is Bitcoin pumping. Then phase 2, Ethereum kind of pumps, and phase 3, the large caps, and finally the altcoin, the out season. So in order for Ethereum and altcoins to kind of decouple from Bitcoin, I think it already happened previously, when we saw the prices of Ethereum doing very well. We already experienced a mini cycle of that already happening. So what you're trying to find out is it going to happen like right now? I don't really think we are going to decouple from Bitcoin in the immediate future, because Bitcoin is now preparing to start making some major moves. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. Wait, hold on. Yeah, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, right, it is starting to sort of recover. And we did and when it comes to Ethereum and altcoins decoupling from BTC, right, you have to consider the Bitcoin dominance as well, because if the Bitcoin dominance is beginning to grind up, and if it's beginning to become high, right, then Bitcoin sort of takes charge and takes control. But there's never going to be any situation or point in time where we're going to have like a complete parallel sort of price movement to BTC, because BTC either has a thing or two with regards to the cycles, okay, because everything is interdependent on one another, and Bitcoin usually always has the it always depicts and determines what cycles these other altcoins are going to be going through. So Bitcoin still maintains the same cycle, and if you look at the path to the out season, this particular cycle is and has always been very intact. So there's no way that Ethereum and other altcoins are just going to all of a sudden break from this particular cycle. No, because everything is interrelated, and a lot of whales, a lot of institutional money, they kind of follow the same similar structure, the same pattern, and all that stuff. So yeah, when it comes to the immediate time frame, maybe right now, since for example Axie Infinity, I really believe Axie Infinity is trying to start off something, because Axie Infinity has been destroying the markets like crazy. So maybe we are slightly jumping into the out season where small caps, mid caps are starting to like sort of outperform BTC. But Axie Infinity is most likely due to the fact that it's having like a lot of demand, and it's really a game changer as far as play to earn is concerned. So Dixon, I really believe Bitcoin and Ethereum and altcoins are going to follow this particular trajectory in terms of the cycle. So we're not really just going to be all of a sudden independent, where Ethereum is independent from BTC, or the altcoins are independent from Bitcoin's structure. I don't really know whether that really makes sense. All right, so just use this guideline to determine what things to concentrate on, and also use the Bitcoin dominance. So VPN says, can you go back to my question if that's okay? So about SLP. So what was your question about SLP? Is it still good to buy SLP then sell, ride the short term bull? Okay, so let's do some technical analysis on SLP. Smooth love portion. Let me add it to my watch list. Let's take a look at it. So as you can see, SLP, the previous all-time high of smooth love portion was 39,000, well, close to about 40,000 US dollars. Okay, and this happened on July 13th, and since then we obviously had like a slight correction, because as you guys can see from here, it kind of retraced a little bit, and we had like we've had like a triple top, if I can put it that way. So we had this particular situation, and then there was also another situation which was similar, and then we recently had that particular similar structure there. But from just looking at this from a technical perspective, right, this structure is gearing up for a pump. You know, we're obviously going to eventually break the previous all-time high right over here, and due to the fact that Axie Infinity is increasing, SLP is also going to increase in value as well. So yes, you could trade it and ride the short-term trend and see what you can do. So yeah, I do agree with you. You could potentially have a very great trade, because it looks like it will definitely break out. It will definitely break out from the previous all-time high, and you know, we're just going to have like some explosive ness in comparison to you know, the previous price performance. So right now we are using this particular level. We are using 26, or rather 25 cents as support. As you guys can see here, we had this bearish engulfing candle, but it still didn't drop below 25,000 US 25 cents. So as long as we maintain this particular level, I think, you know, we could potentially end up breaking the all-time high. But you just have to be careful, because if Axie Infinity kind of drops, then SLP will also automatically drop as well. So I'm sure you are investing in SLP because it is way much more undervalued in comparison to Axie Infinity. Okay, so this is obviously one of the reasons why you are jumping into smooth love portion. But you have to understand that smooth love portion is obviously the utility, you know, taken for the Axie Infinity universe, and people who are sort of cashing out of Axie Infinity, they are sort of selling SLP in order for them to like cash out and you know, get their dues and all that stuff. So this is one of the reasons why, if you compare the price trajectory of Axie Infinity and SLP, Axie Infinity hasn't even broken the previous all-time high. Sorry, SLP hasn't broken the previous all-time high, because a lot of people are consistently cashing out. You know, so the price movement is generally slower with SLP in comparison to Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity has got more demand, and people are buying Axie Infinity for the most part. But yes, we could potentially break out of the 40 cent level, and it could be a very great trade. But you have to be very careful, because if we end up correcting, you know, if the price starts closing below 25 cents, then that could mean that we could potentially have like a deeper correction, or rather a slower price movement, you know, because by the end of it all, you need you want volatility, you want the price to move up high as soon as possible. So as far, or rather as long as we are above 25 cents, then yes, we have a very good probability of going above the previous all-time high, which is close to about 40 cents. So yeah, uh, playing it in the short term, trading back and forth would work, but I would, keep a stop loss below 25 cents. I wouldn't want the price to close below 25 cents, because ever since we sort of pumped, right, and we had this corrective structure, the price hasn't closed below 25 cents. Okay, so if we start having daily candles closing above below 25 cents, just know that the momentum has kind of shifted. So far we are maintaining 25-cent level, which gives us a higher probability of pumping and, closing, or rather going to the previous all-time high, which could potentially yield you a whole lot of money. So I really hope that I answered your question, Daniel. you know and you're asking what's my opinion on the million coin. So I haven't seen the million coin. I don't know what that is. I'll probably take a look at it a little bit later. So getting back to Axie Infinity, right? Yesterday I did let you guys know that I'm only going to be interested in Axie Infinity if we consistently close above $30. So let's take a look at Axie Infinity, AXS. Okay, so in yesterday's episode I said we need to start using this particular previous all-time high, this particular level. Okay, 27,000. We need to be closing above 27,000, and then if we're going to have like a doji, then I would potentially jump into that particular trade, because that's really going to make us continue this bullish market. However, to me, just like I honestly told you, right, I'm not really going to jump into Axie Infinity at this particular level, because it's just been pumping too much, and having a corrective pattern here would be very dreadful to the people who are buying here. It's more like Bitcoin. Remember, this is similar to buying Bitcoin at 61,000 US dollars. And you guys, saw that particular correction that we had. So I wouldn't, even if I were to trade Axie Infinity, it would be just like short term, like maximum 4 hours, maximum 8 hours. I'm in and I'm out. I wouldn't, be very, very comfortable in this particular trade. So the VPN says it also gets burned via breeding. That may also contribute to price hike, pump, and retail order. But yeah, it can be dumped anytime. Yeah, that's very true. Axie Infinity can be dumped anytime, especially the team. As much as the community is supporting the project, right? The team has expenses. The team has to get access to that funding so that they can grow their team, they can expand, they can do some other good stuff. So eventually there's going to be a corrective structure, eventually there's going to be a correction which is going to happen. Okay, so please be very careful when it comes to trading Axie Infinity, because we are at the all-time high. So just like I told you in yesterday's episode, try to take a look at my neighbor Alice. So since yesterday's episode, my neighbor Alice has pumped more than, I don't know, about 20%. It has really done very well. So I hope you guys did enjoy yesterday's episode, because I talked about Alice coin. And yes, I'm going to concentrate on my neighbor Alice, because from a risk to reward ratio, I really think and believe this is a better trade in comparison to jumping in on Axie at these particular highs. However, I'm not saying Axie Infinity can't really continue pumping. It could go to 40, but I'm just not going to take that risk. It could go to $40. I'm not going to take that risk, because to me it's a long way down in case the correction happens. Okay. Other coins such as Zilliqa is also doing very well. It's very slow, sluggish. It's still at 6 cents, and the episode that I made here about a day ago with regards to Zilliqa is still very valid. I really believe the bottom is in, the immediate bottom is in, as far so long Bitcoin maintains these particular bullish structures, prices, etc. So yeah, pretty much all the altcoins are very, very good. So let's talk about Ethereum. um let me get Ethereum, if I can only find Ethereum. Okay, here we go. So we had a ginormous pump with regards to Ethereum, and it's following Bitcoin's structure. So far we are still good. We are still going to face a lot of resistance, especially this particular level, about 2300 level. This is heavy resistance. And then we also have a lot of resistance at 2106. Okay, so we still have like a long way to go. However, I really believe we are sort of using this particular level as support, okay, because of these doji candles right over here. So this is a very strong support level for Ethereum, and at this particular level, due to the fact that we've been correcting for like a very long period of time, I really believe the turnaround has most likely occurred. And just like I told you in yesterday's episode, I expect the price of Ethereum to kind of slightly drop and reduce. We're probably going to come back down to this particular level below 2000. So great entries would be found below 2000. Let's say, for example, 1800. That would be like a very good retracement level, and we could potentially find a re-entry around the 1800 to 1900 level, because the corrective structure is most likely going to happen. So yeah, let's take a look at BTC. Seems like something is happening. Yeah, BTC is dropping, correcting because we had that swing failure pattern. So the 4 hours is going to, when is it going to end? It's going to end in about 23 minutes. So if the 4 hour candle on BTC sort of closes bearish, right, then we're going to have like another swing failure pattern on the 4 hourly. So a swing failure pattern on the 4 hourly could take the price of Bitcoin close to around 31,500, which is very good, because I'm expecting the price to kind of drop to the bottom. So Mello 101 says hello. Yeah, hi Mello, welcome to the stream. I hope you are having a lovely time. I hope you've been trading very well and you're doing your thing. Okay, so what else can we take a look at? So Binance Coin still below $300. Same corrective structure. We're going to have like a slight correction, and getting to purchase some BNB when we kind of retrace to this particular level would be very good. So if we drop to about 283 all the way up to about 273, that would be like a very good entry level with regards to Binance. So I'm expecting the prices to slightly drop in the next coming 24 to about 72 hours, and this particular level would be a very great re-entry. So with regards to BNB, we're also having like a swing failure pattern here. On the 4 hour. The 1 hour should even give us like more clarity, but it's not really that clear on the 1 hour, but it's just saying, okay, we're most likely going to have like a little bit of a retracement, and to be honest, we need to kind of make this particular drop, because that's technically going to give us like a first wave, and I really believe that this particular structure is going to be sort of dismantled. However, we are still going to continue pumping towards the upside. So I still remain bullish, and I really believe that the prices are going to do very well as long as the correction is done. So let's just wait for the corrections to be done. Then when they're done, then we're definitely going to continue pumping towards the upside. So don't be bearish at this particular moment. Don't be bearish, okay? But we're still going to have some slight corrections. However, we are bullish. We have started our bullish trajectory. The price of Bitcoin is most likely going to go to 41,000 US dollars. It's eventually going to come. So don't really get it twisted. Just buy the dips and the bottoms. Uniswap, still the same narratives, same scenario. It's still going to do very well as long as we have that slight pullback. I'm looking for entries close to $15, $14. That would be like a very good re-entry level. So when it comes to my neighbor Alice, it has been performing very well. I'm looking for the price to slightly drop below $6. I would be very happy if the price is close to about $6, even $5.91. But with my neighbor Alice, oh man, this one has been very good to me, and I'm very excited to eventually benefit from its upward trajectory. So it has just been consistently pumping, but I really expect the prices to like slightly drop and slightly have a mini correction. So going back to these particular levels, even $5.60 would be like a very great re-entry level, because we could end up using this particular area as some sort of anchor support, and dropping to the 38.2% fib level, which is corresponding to about $5.39. This would be a very great re-entry level for Alice, and that would be like a $1 price correction. So that would definitely yield very good results. So if we look at the 1 hour, right, the 1 hour is indicating some sort of correction. And yeah, let me get rid of these. So if you look at the 1 hour, we are coming to the exhaustion of the bulls. So I would wait for the prices to slightly correct. So if we look at the Heikin-Ashi candles, the Heikin-Ashi candles clearly shows the end of this particular pump. Okay, we're getting these dojis. So in the next 24 to about 48 hours, we're going to have some good entries, because we're going to have some better entries, because the prices are going to slightly correct. So just be patient. The price is going to slightly drop. So I'm looking forward to buying Alice below $6. So if the price goes to about $5.36, that will be very good. But for now, stay away, get back into USD Tether, do what you have to do, wait for those re-entries, and jump back into the trades a little bit later. So you don't really have to get confused, because there's absolutely no reasons for you guys to get confused. Everything is pretty basic, it's pretty simple. Just use the volatility to your advantage and do what you have to do. Okay, I already gave you the guidelines, so you've got no excuses, you've got no you've got no other things to sort of convince yourself why you're having some failure with regards to having good results as far as your trading journey is concerned, because I'm always here. Yeah, so let's take a look at some news. Let's take a look at the funding history. I'm sure the funding history is quite positive at this particular moment. So we are still close to zero. That really means that there's neutrality in the markets. There is there is indecision as far as the funding rate is concerned, because we're slightly above zero, because the funding rate is about 0.0003%, which is absolutely neutral at this particular moment. So we could have either situations. So this is one of the reasons why it's safe at this particular moment to be in USD Tether, because even the funding rate is showing neutrality. So it's a very good metric that you can use to sort of give you an overview, because every time we have like a negative funding interest, we always end up pumping. You guys saw me show you the previous times that the negative funding interest always leads up to a pump, because it incentivizes the market makers to sort of do the opposite of what the markets are doing. So this neutrality kind of tells me to sort of be on red alert and just be careful with regards to what's about to happen. So I'm safely tucked in USD Tether. I'm holding USD Tether at this particular moment, and I'm waiting for re-entries because I really believe we are very bullish. So even though we are bullish, I went back into USD Tether because I sort of longed the bottom, and I was trading. I was longing, so I'm just flipping. Let's take a look at some news, a little bit of news, just to see what the folks are talking about. Okay, Jack Dorsey isn't trolling if by making its logo the Ethiopian flag. Okay. Hot stories. Binance stops stock token sales effective immediately. If developer Virgil Griffith back in jail after allegedly checking Coinbase account. Bitcoin bounces off 31,000 after Bank of America reportedly greenlights Bitcoin futures trading. Okay. We don't really have like a lot of exciting stuff going on. Let's take a look at this. Maybe this could be slightly interesting. When was this released? This one is old news. Old news. So where's the new news at? This was done 4 hours ago. Okay, guys, we don't really have a lot of exciting stuff going on now on the news. Just some regular stuff, some regular info. Maybe this one could be interesting. Number of investors owning Bitcoin has tripled since 2018. Gallup poll. So 3 times more US investors are holding BTC now than in 2018. Okay, cool. Anyway, let me not waste much of your time. It's been your boy Muna, aka Beyond 10x. So moral of the story today is we are still very bullish. We're back in the game as far as Bitcoin is concerned. However, we need to we need to maintain 31,500 as long as the price in the next coming 48 to about 72 hours, if the price continues to stay above 31,500, then we are still good to go, because 31,500 is a very important level, because it really signifies this particular range that we need to maintain. So as long as Bitcoin is above 31,500, then we are most likely going to continue pumping, and we're going to have a retest on 41,000 US dollars. However, it's not really going to be a smooth journey, because we've got hurdles. We've got the 33,200 as resistance. We've got 37,000 US dollars as resistance. So we've got like a lot of hurdles to cross and a lot of bears to challenge. So it's not really going to be a smooth selling journey, but I am bullish. I've got a bullish bias at this particular moment, because we haven't technically closed below 30,000 US dollars using Heikin-Ashi candles. If we flip over to the Heikin-Ashi candles, you guys are going to be able to agree with me that we haven't closed below 30,000 US dollars, which is very bullish. And technically speaking, this is a very good retracement level, because the price is on a very great buy zone, which is the 61.8% fib level, which usually is a reversal area, when it comes to these corrective structures, aka a pullback. So Bitcoin is still very bullish at this particular moment. No, we are not in a bear market. We can only enter a bear market if we are closing below the previous all-time high. So the previous all-time high before 2020 was 20,000 US dollars. So as long as the price of Bitcoin is above 20,000 US dollars, we have the probability of continuing our bull market. So that's all I had for you. Expect the altcoins to slightly drop. Use the 38.2% fib level to about 61.8% fib level to like find your entries. Time your entries based on BTC. When BTC finishes its corrective structure, especially due to the fact that at this particular moment we are most likely going to end up correcting, because we had a swing failure pattern, and this right over here is the beginning of a mini pullback. So the mini pullback is going to take us probably below 32,000 US dollars, and eventually we are going to end up sort of pushing back and continuing our journey towards 41,000 US dollars. But I just wanted to like give you a heads up saying, look, we've got a swing failure pattern on the 1 hour, and soon the 4 hour is also going to give us like a very good swing failure pattern, which is going to lead the price of Bitcoin to slightly correct, and finding entries when the correction is done. Then you guys could potentially hop on this particular journey when we do that, and we continue pumping towards the upside. So I'm looking forward to finding the end of this particular pullback, aka correction, and just buying the bottom wherever it's going to be, and then I'm going to sort of enjoy those sweet profits right over there. So that's all I had for you, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Mina. I've already talked about SLP. Just play back my video. I already talked about SLP. I really believe SLP is most likely going to break the previous all-time high, provided we stay above 25 cents. 25 cents has to be held, and once we do that, then we are definitely going to continue pushing towards the upside. However, I really believe that sooner or later, the price of SLP is going to explode. But be very careful. Just make sure you keep an eye on Axie Infinity, because Axie Infinity could do what it does. It could end up correcting, because we've had like some major pumps, and right now the price of Axie Infinity is around $31, and anytime a correction could happen. If Axie Infinity ends up correcting like heavily, if we end up dropping below 27,000 and closing, if we end up closing below $27 on Axie Infinity, then we could continue dropping. So we need to close above $27 for the next coming few days. Then we're going to probably potentially see the price of Axie Infinity go to new highs. But I'm not just going to risk my portfolio on, or rather when it comes to investing in Axie Infinity at this particular moment, because there are better risk to reward ratios, and I'm looking at my neighbor Alice at this particular moment. So basically I'm out of Axie Infinity. I took my profit, and I'm betting on my neighbor Alice as the next play to earn type of coin, which is going to perform very well. So that's all I had for you. It's been your boy Mina, aka Beyonce Next. So Amanda says, how high can AXS go today? Well, it depends. I don't know. I already took my profits. I was like $30 to me is a very good area. I bought back at $14 when we had that correction. I bought about $14, and then it pumped to about $31. To me, that was like a very great trade. So I took my profit. So I don't really know what your plans are with regards to Axie Infinity, but I already took my profits, guys. I'm not going to be greedy. But yes, it could continue going up. Maybe it's going to go to $40. Maybe it's going to go to $50. We're going to find out. But in case it ends up retracing and correcting, I don't want to be holding the bag, So I really hope you had like a better entry, and you're safe in case there's going to be like a corrective structure. Because let's say, for example, we start correcting on Axie Infinity, right? And then you are holding on to like a losing position. You have to be able to like take that in. You have to be fine with that. So it just depends on your entry. I don't really know your entry and where you go in, and your patience with regards to a correction. Let's say we start correcting. So you just, whatever decision that you make, if you guys are actively playing the game, well, if you're actively playing the game, right? If you're playing the Axie Infinity game, then it doesn't really matter, because you're going to be earning some SLP, you're going to be doing your thing, you're going to be active and all that stuff. But it really hurts when you see the price is correct, So I don't know, guys. Do what you have to do. But for me, I already took my profits, and I'm satisfied with my results. And I'm just not going to risk it. So it depends on your risk tolerance. If you've got a lot of money, and if you're willing to lose whatever you invested, then go ahead. But I'm just here to remind you that we are at the all-time high. investing or rather buying Axie Infinity at this particular, all-time high is like buying Bitcoin at $61,000 when the price of Bitcoin was $61,000. It's the same situation with Axie Infinity. Yes, it could continue pumping, but nobody really knows. It could go to $50. Nobody really knows about that. But all I know is it's currently at the all-time high, and I don't want to be holding this particular project at the all-time high. I would rather wait for some more corrections and some more pullbacks in order for me to like jump all in. But I have some few Axies remaining because I'm still playing the game. Oh, by the way, do you guys want me to give you a tutorial on the game? Because I really believe that the gameplay is actually way much more fun than the technical analysis. So VPN says your composure is unbelievable, great gains ahead. So yeah, I've made a lot of losses, I've lost a lot of money, and this is one of the reasons why I always believe in taking profit. Take profit all the time, because when you take some profits, you'll be able to like play the next time, if you know what I mean. So during the previous bull market, right, like the previous cycle, I was like, let me just hold on to it, but my portfolio just kept on devaluing. I just kept on losing money, and that mentality sort of made me a little bit more stiffer when it comes to like taking profits and not being greedy. Because yeah, you could be making a lot of money, right? But it's technically on paper. You haven't really cashed out. You haven't really gone into USD Tether. So, if the price corrects, you're back to zero or you're back to where you were. So this is one of the reasons why you have to be very, you have to be very serious when it comes to profit taking. When you make like a 50%, even a 30% price increment, even a 10%, you should always take profits. So I have suffered a lot with regards to my psychology and mental composure with regards to the previous all-time high. So this is one of the reasons why I don't even care. It could go to $50. I wouldn't. It could go to about $50. I wouldn't really be bothered about it, because by the end of it all, I did the right thing as far as safeguarding my portfolio and just doing the best thing in terms of the risk to reward type of analysis. Because if you take a look at the risk to reward ratio, right, it's not really favoring the bulls, because we expect the prices to slightly drop, but it could continue pumping. I do not neglect the fact that it could continue pumping, but in case it drops down, I would feel very bad that I didn't take profit, if we end up correcting. So to me, the best thing to do is take my profits and look for another trade and look for another opportunity to rebuy at lower prices, because by the end of it, yes, we're going to eventually end up correcting, and we're going to go back below $25. So it's just a matter of time. We'll see, but anyway, we'll see. So yeah, talk to you a little bit later. You guys have been awesome. I'm definitely going for real. So I'll have another update for you in the next coming few hours, probably in the next 6 hours, because by then we would have had some more data as far as Bitcoin is concerned. So I just wanted to like give you a heads up with regards to this trading action, and it's pretty accurate, because you guys are seeing the prices kind of begin to form this bearish situation going on. So I'm really happy to share these live trades and my live thoughts with you as it happens. So as you can see, the accuracy in my experience. So yeah, it's been your boy Muna, aka Beyond 10x. Hit the like button, share, drop me a comment. What else do you want me to take a look at? And we're definitely going to keep it moving. So yeah, take care.